Hello viewers, this is your SSK and today we have an interesting story from Chandamama and the name of the story is The Wisdom of Truth. The city of Satyapur was ruled by a monarch appropriately named Satyanath because he believed in truth above all else. Though he had fabulous wealth, he was kind and charitable and gave freely to all. So his subjects adored him and remained true to his ideals. The king had a novel idea to banish poverty and penury from his land. Every day he brought the procedure of the land from those who assembled before the palace gates and had something to sell. This way, the king believed poverty could be banished and full employment guaranteed to the people. His hopes were not in vain because even those who had suffered in business sold their goods to him and recouped their losses. A certain poor Brahmin lives in a far off village heard about the king's new scheme. He too wanted to sell the king something and get a lot of wealth in exchange. But he was poor and had nothing to sell except his poverty. So he set off for the capital carrying his meager belongings consisting of a torn waistcloth, a ragged blanket, and a tattered bedroll. The palace guards reported to the king that a poor Brahmin had come to sell something. The king asked the Brahmin what he had to sell. Thereupon the Brahmin said, "Sir, I have come to sell you my poverty. Take it and give me some money." The king was surprised to hear these words, but he could not change his custom of buying whatever was offered for sale. If he refused to buy what the Brahmin had offered for sale, then his word would become false and he would be discredited. So the king said, "Very well, O Brahmin, what price do you ask for your poverty?" "1,000 gold pieces," said Brahmin. Without a word, the king received the Brahmin's dirty bundle and paid over 1,000 gold pieces. The Brahmin returned home happy that at last he was no longer poor. That night, the king had a strange dream. In it, he saw a beautiful damsel leaving his house, so he asked her who she was. She replied, "O king, I am Lakshmi, goddess of wealth. I have no more to do here, since you brought poverty, therefore I am leaving." The king said, "Very well, I can't stop you. You are free to do what you will." So Lakshmi left. Then the king saw another beautiful maiden following Lakshmi. He asked her who she was and replied, "I am the goddess of virtue. After Lakshmi's departure, what shall I do here?" So the king gave her leave to depart. Then the goddess of wisdom and then fame also left. At the end, the king perceived a lone goddess of great leisure following the others. So he stopped her and asked her who she was. She said, "O king, I am the goddess of truth. When all others are gone, why should I tarry here alone?" Then the king replied, "I allowed all others to leave, hoping that you alone of all of them will stay in my land, for I can do without the others. But trust, I must always have." Goddess was pleased with his words and elected to stay behind. Then the king saw all other goddesses' wealth, virtue, wisdom, and fame turning back to his kingdom. The king was agreeably surprised and asked them why they had all come back. They proclaimed in unison, "We thought truth would accompany us, but she chose to stay with you. Where there is no truth, we have no business." The king woke up from his dream and pondered over the vision. Truth he knew was the most precious possession of mankind.